Oh yes, baby. Tomorrow's the day. PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Here it comes. I'ma break that piggy. Okay. Sorry, piggy. It's time.
What you think you're doing, fool?
Oh,
You said you were going to save to buy your first house.
okay. I mean, it's true.
Don't break me until you're ready to buy your first house, or else I'ma rip all these bills I have inside of me. Now put down that hammer and go check your bank account, fool.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna wait. I promise. I'm gonna wait. Thank you for kicking sense into me. Thank you.
Dun, 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 dun. Hello, and welcome back to Finance Spreaders. And if you're new to this channel, welcome to one of the channels where you can learn all about finance with a fun twist. In other words, hashtag stay hungry for finance. This is now gonna be the hashtag I'm gonna be using for everything related to the channel and all the social networks, all the posts, Instagram, TikTok, everything. So stay in the lookout for hashtag stay hungry for finance. Also, stacking checks. This is the goal that I want you to have and one of the reasons why I created this channel. And if you see this band that I have, I swear I am not trying to start my 90s rap career. It's just that I actually had a zit in my face and I popped it and now it looks nasty. So don't mind it at all. In the last video of the series that I call Road to Your First Million, we went over budgeting, the first stage in the whole series. And if you would like to see that video, I'm gonna have a link showing up here and also a link in the description below so you can watch that video and other ones from the series so you can keep track of the timeline and see all the videos that come before this one. Now, as you saw in the opening of this video, we're gonna talk about one thing, and that's savings. This is actually the second stage of the series that I called Road to Your First Million. In this video, I'm gonna be touching on 4 things about savings. Savings versus checking accounts, why we should save, how we should save, and which banks I would recommend you can use to start making a savings account. Now, as always, I am not a professional in the economy. I am not an economist, nor am licensed in giving you financial advice and telling you what you should do with your money. But the reason I do these videos is so you can have the education and tips on how to make better decisions with your money. And these videos will be both in English and in Spanish para mi gente.
The Latino gang.
So if you like this video and you like the content that I'm putting out, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel so you can see a lot more videos like this coming up in the future. I'll have so much more coming up, so I hope you subscribe. Also, when you hit the like button and you subscribe to this channel, it helps me out and spread the word about finance to all those people, especially Latinos. Now that the formalities are over, let's get straight to the topic. Let's go. Before we start talking about bank accounts, we first need to understand how banks work. In the olden days, if you were wealthy and very rich, you could store your gold inside a vault inside your castle. The problem was that the only people that could put their gold inside their castle were the very rich, royalty, kings and queens. The normal, successful people had to either store it in their home, either under the mattress or in a secure chest inside their houses. But what happens when your house got raided and you did not have a castle? Well, most likely you would lose all your gold and money. Later on, influential merchants and royalty got together in order to devise a way to help normal folk, normal businessmen keep their gold safe. And thus, they created the first banks. Later on, through the years, banks evolved and expanded, and they came up with an idea, and it came out like this.
Mr. Morgan, I have an idea. Yes, Mr. Goldman? What if we use the money people deposit with us to make more money? That's a great idea, Mr. Goldman. Let us do it.
And voila, the modern bank was born. Nowadays, banks do many types of loans and investments using the money you deposit with them. And that is pretty much the main way how banks make money. For example, here we have Juan, Tony, and Jessica. They all have bank accounts with different amounts. The bank will then grab all the money from all 3 accounts, packages it, and will give it to Ben as a loan, either for an auto loan, home loan, or business loan. And the interest that the loan will be on will depend on Ben's credit score. The lower the credit score, the higher higher the interest will be, and vice versa. Let's say, for example, Ben gets a $100,000 loan at 2.5 fixed interest, meaning that Ben will pay 2.5% on the principal every month in every payment. That means that at the end of the 10 years in the terms of the loan, Ben will have paid a grand total of $127,278.72. That is more than $27,000 in profits for the bank using the money what you have with them. Kinda unfair, isn't it? On the bright side though, your money is maybe in one of the safest locations it could ever be, and even if Ben is not able to pay back the loan, the bank ensures 100% your money and you don't lose a dime. Banks also have several other ways they make money, either by the providing of the services that they have, credit card, account fees, and any other fees that come with banking with the bank. Now that we know how basically banks work and make money, now we can talk about two accounts that I recommend everybody should have, no matter who you are and how much money you have. You should have both a checking and a savings account. And let's compare both of them. A checking account gives you very easy access towards your money. You're able to deposit checks to your account or get electronic transfers from your employer or anyone that sends you money electronically. You can pay bills automatically by attaching your service providers to your checking account. You can transfer money between accounts and between banks, as well as giving you the access to a debit card, which you can use to access your money from everywhere and pay purchases. And with that debit card, you can also use to access the ATMs all over the country that they may have. So in summary, a checking account is perfect for day-to-day purchases and paying bills, as well as have access to your money 24/7. In contrast, a savings account does not have many of the benefits a checking account does. They don't allow you to connect service providers so you can pay your bills, and you don't have access with it using your debit card, meaning you cannot make purchases with your savings account. Also, you get a maximum of 6 transactions that are free per month. There's sometimes they could be more depending on the bank. And these transactions include transfers, withdrawals, and any other way that you move money out or into the account. Now, you can make more than those 6 maximum transfers. The problem is that there's gonna be a big fee attached to them. When we see it like this, it looks like a checking account is way better than a savings account, and there's no need to have a savings account. But the big advantage that savings accounts have is that your money that's in there earns interest, meaning it grows over time without you having to touch it, work it, or do anything to it. Just let it sit there and it'll make money for you. Currently though, because of the current economic crisis that we're going through as a nation, and the Llorona trying its best to bring us into the pond of despair, the federal bank, which is the head bank of all the banks in the USA, has decided to lower interest for all loans and services that banks provide. This means the banks are now making less money, which in turn translates to you having less interest being earned in your savings account. In the past, before La Llorona came, the average interest in savings accounts was around 2.5%. Now, after the crisis, we are at a low 0.6%, which is an average number. Some banks could have higher, some banks could have lower. But I still recommend opening a savings account, as at the moment things are not looking good, but this economy is bound to rise, as well as interest. You'll see them come up and it'll be back to 2.5% pretty soon. Now, this is a good segue into moving on why we should save money. There are many reasons why someone would like to save money, but the one reason I think is imperative of why we should have a savings account is for an emergency fund. Imagine you lose your job, or there's a medical emergency or a family emergency, or any unfortunate event that causes you to lose your job or stop working. Now, if you have a savings account, you have a safety cushion that you can use to pay your bills and monthly expenses like mortgages, bills, rent, and you can use it until you find your next source of income or job. As mentioned in previous videos, most economists are saying that you should have at least 6 months of all your expenses, all your necessities in a savings account. That way, in case of anything unfortunate happens, you are ready. Also, you can create a savings account for other type of goals. Let's say you want to create a savings account to buy a home or to buy a car. Let's use an example. You have Jessica and she's starting her first savings account with $500, and every month she deposits $500 consistently, and her savings account has an APY of 2.5%, meaning that every month her money will grow at least 2.5%. She is planning to take that money out in 4 years to buy herself a new car. So at the end of the 4 years, she ends up having a total of $25,751 with cents. And out of that total, she would have about $1,251 that she made pure profits from just having a money in a savings account. Money that she didn't work for or had to do anything to make it grow. Having a savings account is pretty much the easiest way for you to invest your money and see it grow without having to do much to it. Now, this is a little slow compared to having an investment account where you buy stocks or ETFs and you get higher returns. On average, if you make good investments, you'll have a return of 12 to 13% in the stock market compared to a savings account of 2.5%. That's about 10% higher of just pure profits that you would make if you have an investment account. But more profits also means more risk. Savings accounts have no risk at all aside from just having it there compared to an investment account. That money could disappear if the stocks go down. But that's just how it is. The more money you want to make, the riskier it'll be. But don't be afraid. I was just like you, I was afraid of risk, and then I decided to just take the plunge and go for it. And now my real return is about 14% in the stock market, taking ETFs and good companies for their stock. Now, if you would like to take those risks for yourself and create a free investment account where you can buy stocks and ETFs in the stock market, I can give you 3 free recommendations of stock brokerage accounts that I recommend and actually that I enjoy using. You have WeBull, you have Robinhood, and you have TDAmeritrade. I will have links to those brokerage accounts so you can create your free brokerage accounts in the description below. And if you choose the referral links down there with Robinhood, you will get 1 free stock. And if you do it with WeBull, you will get max 2 free stocks. Currently, these are time promotions. I am not sure how long they're gonna last, but these are the easiest ways for you to get free stocks and start learning about how a stock market works and how a stock loses and gains value. And the great thing is you pretty much had to use $0 to get those free stocks. All 3 brokerage accounts that I have recommended will ask you for social security and personal information in order to verify you as a real person. And that is because they work with the IRS. Now I have to mention that these are my referral links. If you use them, I will be compensated for Robinhood and WeBull, but it's at no extra cost to you and is a way to support this channel since I am giving you all this free information. So I hope you use them. So if you like what I'm telling you so far, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and let's continue. Now, as to how to tell how much money you should put in savings, it's pretty much all comes down to knowing how you're budgeting. And at the same time, you should know how much your income is, your monthly expenses, and your future goals. In the previous video, I went over the golden rule of budgeting, and if you would like to refresh your memory, I'll have a link up here and a link in the description below. Like I mentioned, when you budget, you should have at least 20% of all your income set up just for savings. This means that if you make $5,000 a month, $1,000 should go into savings. Now, this will also depend on you to make changes in your spending so that you can put that money to better use for you and to improve your odds of early retirement. Now, as to which banks I recommend so you can open your free savings account today, I'll present you what I researched and found when I was doing this video. Now, as a disclosure, I do not benefit in any way, shape, or form from these banks, and I would not make any type of commission if you sign up with these banks. And there may be better or other banks that are better than the ones that I'm giving you here that I did not include in this list. So you are free to also do your own research and your due diligence so you can investigate and see if these are good options for you. If not, then you can find some other bank online that suits your needs. As for me, I do have an Ally savings account. Now in this list that I'm gonna have right now, these banks are not ranked in any way, shape, or form. I just put them randomly. And I will have links in the description below to all those bank savings accounts so you can check them out and investigate on your own. Also, another thing to note, these interest rates are all depending on region, so you could be in another region that has a lower APY or interest on these savings accounts. So let's start with the list. The first bank, we're gonna start with one of the biggest banks in the US, which has branches across the country, Citibank, with their Accelerate Savings account. At the making of this video, they had an interest of 0.6% APY. It has no minimum requirements to gain interest, but it does have a monthly fee of $4.50. Now, this fee can be waived if you have at least $500 in that savings account. Meaning, as long as you have $500 in the savings account, your savings account is free. I like this option because I already have a Citi credit card and it would make it really easy for me to use the same account to open a savings account. So then I would have my credit card and my savings account connected with the same email. Their website and mobile app are really easy to use and very intuitive. Not to mention, anything goes wrong, you have your 24/7 phone and online support. And if for some reason you need to, you can go to one of their thousands of branches across the US. And if you live in a major city, you will have access to one of those branches. Moving on, we got Ally's Bank Savings Account. Now, I've had my Ally's Savings Account for about 1 month now. I had a savings account with Bank of America, which was paying almost 0% interest. So what I did, I just switched it to Ally and it's now looking way better with 0.6% APY. Not only they have a high APY, they also have no minimum requirements to start earning interest and no maintenance fees to have the account. Meaning you can have at least $1 in there and it'll start gaining interest and it'll be a free account with no fees. At the same time, you can choose to open a checking account with Ally and have an ATM card. And that way you can have both a checking and a savings connected together. And you can access with that debit card many ATMs that they have in their network. Of course, not as many as Citi, but there's a big amount. And both their website and their app are a breeze to use. Now, the only downside that I see with Ally is that they are exclusively an online bank, meaning they don't have physical branches, they don't have locations you can go to. All your customer questions have to be done either through the phone or online. And if you choose to only have the savings account, you don't have access to the ATMs. You have to have a checking account to get access to the ATMs. The next bank in the list is more known for their credit cards, and they're some of the best out there. In fact, American Express Platinum, the one that I have, is amazing. I am falling in love with that card for all the perks that I get. So yeah, the bank is American Express High Yield Savings Account. At the moment, they have an APY of 0.6 that compounds daily. And unlike Ally and Citi, they do not offer checking accounts. So if you would like to do your normal banking, paying bills, having money deposited to your checking account, you cannot do that with American Express. You would have to do it with some other bank. Now, they have no minimum in deposits to open the account and no minimums to start earning interest, meaning you can also have $1 there and start earning interest right away. In the way that they're similar to Ally is that they do not have physical branches either. Oh, my cat is out here. He's doing his catty things. You wanna say hello, Baboso? Say hello to my little friend. There's a lot of light in there. But yes, just for one like, you will support many kitties like this to have a home. We provide food and shelter to all those kitties in need. So go like this video and subscribe to this channel to support the life of babosos like this one. Now, the last one is a new, lesser known savings account. I just found out when I was doing my research for this video that this account exists, and that account is from the app that started penny saving, and it's the High Yields Chimes savings account. Now, I have no experience with the app or the savings account, but as I did my research and I saw the pros, it made me want to add it to the list. Chime has the highest APY in the whole list at 1%. And like Ally and American Express, they're pretty much exclusively online and through the phone. The great thing is that they're just like Ally. They have no minimum deposits to start opening your account and no minimum to start earning interest, meaning you can also have $1 in there and start earning interest. At the same time, there are no monthly fees. And just like American Express, they do not have any checking account services. Now, I think that their customer service may or may not be as good as other banks out there that are more well known, like Citibank, Ally, American Express. And they do not have the perks that those companies have. The good thing is they make up what they don't have in the high APY. And I think it's a very solid option, and you should give it a look if it's something that interests you and if you already use the Chime app. Great, we have gone all over the basics on what you should know about savings, so you can reach your first million and retire before you're 65. And Bubbles is out here going crazy. Now, as you know, Christmas and the holiday shopping is fastly approaching, and spending is gonna be off the charts. It doesn't matter if there's a crisis or no crisis, spending is gonna be done. But the oh, Bubbles, come on, bro. I know, Baboso. I know, mi Baboso. You like to be carried like a baby, huh? But Baboso, he loves being cradled. Okay, chill. I'll put you down, but you gotta stop running around. Oh, he is full of hairs. That goal and my goal of this channel is to help you make better decisions with your money and to prioritize your financial and personal goals for your own benefit. Spending without limits and piling on debt in order to give someone happiness through material things is not the way to go. We should all strive to live below our means and save and invest more than we spend, so that in the future we can afford the Lambos, we can afford the Ferraris, we can afford to give our parents, our cousins, great gifts. Remember, it's not the gift that matters, but the thought and love you put into it. And the biggest gift you can give to someone you love is to hug them and tell them you love them. Have a great time this Thanksgiving and stay safe and stay healthy. I love y'all, take care, and like my buddy Bad Bunny said, let's go for that Bulgari watch.
Y a veces es dolce, a veces es vulgar. Y cuando te lo quito, después de los paris, las copas de vino, las libras de Mari. Tú estás bien.